Hello and welcome to another Studio Central Facebook Live Art Demo. For those that don't know, Studio Central is a part of Art Beat Studio, which is a nonprofit organization that believes in the healing power of art and using art as a tool to overcome different challenges in life. And Studio Central is our free gallery, or not gallery, for free art studio for anyone to come in 18 plus and make some art. And our gallery is here, Upbeat Artworks, which sells all of the work from the artists that have gone through our program. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and let Kate introduce what we're doing today.
Hello, did we actually call the video Get Lucky with Resin? That's what we're doing today. We're getting lucky, sharing our lucky moments and also some imperfections that can happen, and the way of thinking of artists. Artists have their own thinking usually, but we're here with several pieces that I want to talk about. And also we're going to unwrap our resin bases and check on what happened last week. I want to give Megan several words because we're going to present an artist, Art alumnus Bradley McKay, and his beautiful rainbow tree we're admiring here. And Megan will read his bio for you.
First, I'm going to show you, look at this amazing tree that Brad made with wire and these amazing little pieces. I adore this beyond words. It is amazing and colorful and shimmery, and they jingle, and it's just magical. It's just pure magic. But let me tell you a little bit about Brad. So Bradley McKay, a father of three, was born in Winnipeg in 1968 to a family of artists. His father was a painter, and Brad remembers drawing on the walls of his mother's house. He has always loved building things and learning by doing. In school, he was challenged by an art teacher and also took drafting, where he began working with geometrical ideas. For several years, he became a chef, worked in security, and took meditation workshops. He later graduated with honors as a counselor in addictions and community service, and he volunteered on the Winnipeg City Committee for Safety, among other things. He has been given the spirit name of Thunderbird Man. Since coming to Artbeat, which Brad says has brought out my inner artist, he is thinking differently about art and art history. I like Matisse, he adds. When he tells his story, you get it. I strive for that clarity. He is currently working in pen and ink, drawing straight from his sympathetic heart directly onto the paper. He also works in acrylics and added pastels on canvas and wood, drawing with paint, as he calls it. His interests include indigenous themes, emotional issues, tattoo images, and abstract geometrical designs. He also writes poems and short stories. Brad says, whatever I'm focused on, I'm committed to. I don't stop until it's done perfectly. And this is his artist bio, which is in our book up at the front desk here at Upbeat. So come on down and take a look through. But once again, this is this amazing tree. I love it so much.
It's called Rainbow Blossom, and we have more trees from Brad, and also you can go to our website, which is abbitartworks.com. Check on Brad's work and you will see more trees, the little bonsai and the baby blossom, and other works, which includes paintings as well. This sculpture costs $75, no tax. You can purchase it from our website or come to the store.
I think each one has their own price point depending on how big it is and the complexity of the tree design. So it's amazing. Yay.
And Mater, my daughter, is wearing Lucky Charms shirt today. So we're really hoping to get lucky. And you know, some materials you need to either have a lot of experience to have the knowledge. And many artists who start first 2 years, you can say you have zero experience with resin, because you haven't tried you don't have to try all the variations, but I tried a lot of things. And some things did work out the way they're supposed to work out, but it doesn't mean that they're ready pieces. When you work with certain material and you're learning on how to use it, you want to try different things, and you try it to actually create something good. If it doesn't work, it's not, it could be something that you might consider for later, might not. Things that I tried. So as an example, this brick, many artists who start working with resin create something like this. You see the bubble, you can actually see that it's an opening.
Oh my goodness.
This is so this is basically resin that was placed in a plastic bag and left. So I didn't touch it. So you can see the shape. I could not take the whole thing off. But what many artists do, they take some files. I don't know how many files you need to do something like that, a resin sculpture or create something out of it. So this scratches is the example. I tried to cut it with a knife. So this is how hard it is to cut this guy. And some resins can be softer, but this is just a very hard brick. So you can just look at it and see, I did not, as it was in the bag, I did not use the torch. So this is resin, how it looks when you do not use the torch. It has lots of bubbles inside, and they're not going out because the surface was not there. It was just inside the bag. So
it's just so cool. Like
just
it
a
looks
cool
like
brick.
a soft, like it looks like a soft bag, but when you hold it, it's literally
It's just very
That's giving
hard.
me so many ideas. I want to make little fishy bags, little itty bitty
Oh.
ones. Thanks for the idea.
I think doing something like this would be cool, like with having something inside of it.
So I want just to show it on video, so as someone who is not familiar with resin can actually see how it looks like when it's not worked on with a torch. And there is lots and lots and lots of bubbles.
Yeah.
You can see there. So what can you do with it? You can file it to the point where you get a sculpture, or you can do something else with it. You can try cutting it with a saw maybe, or something like really hard. But if you don't have it, the knife would not make it. So it's literally getting a lot of files. But you can also use some tools. So this is an example. Last Friday, we were talking a lot, and usually when I make resin, I set it on time. We were making something different, and then I wanted to use leftover resin for the painting to resin it. And what happened to it is that resin started heating up, and actually when this bag started heating up, it was so hot. So when resin starts working, it heats up, and this was super hot already. And I tried to smudge it with a glove to have the first layer, and this is what happened. So I could just show that fixing is possible. May I get the paper towel, please?
Yes.
So what happens here is I need to file down the whole part that is unworked. So let's say all this.
You can see where it turned so white.
So as you see, when I start filing it, pieces get off slowly, so it does not happen really quickly. So I can file it more and more and more and more and more, and then I can resin it again. But you see this chunk, it could be possible that you can just cut it off and cut the edges off with scissors, and they're sharp and everything, or you can use some other tools which are better to use. But this is how it looks like. So it just gets white on the part you start filing, and then you just use either water or alcohol. This is just simple rubbing alcohol. So in case if you don't have water, that might happen, and you have rubbing alcohol, you might do that. So it's the way it works, and it's fixable, and I'm not afraid of doing that because, well, let's say I did not really care much about this painting, and it was more of a let's try and see what happens. And Mater's painting was luckier, so we could just, with this format, we could just place resin on it, but as you see, when you spread it with a glove and resin is settled already, so it's too hard, so it does not go all over, and it happens. So you can just re-resin it on top. You can pour. So when you pour, it does not happen. When you pour, it will just cover it all nicely. So what we're going to do, we're going to use the stand we used last time, put some wax paper on it and resin it, and have some torch. I don't want a fire show, just want to erase bubbles. And then this guy, it would take some time to file it down, so I'm not going to resin it today.
Yeah. And you should be careful when you're filing, because it can be dangerous when like you have so much dust around. But like using water and stuff will make that better.
Yeah, so it's good if someone has issues, please wear a mask working with resin, working with filing resin or stuff like that. But also, if you're close to water, that's easier. Just wash it off, let it dry, and go for another layer. All right, so that goes somewhere. Okay, so we have this. Megan, can you pick out your pieces? And only so it's easier for me, so I don't have to think too much.
These earlier, so I had them sort of separate. I think it was, no, not that one. These ones we had. I know I had a circle one too, but I don't know which one. Oh yeah, it was. Oh wait.
We have to go back and watch the video to figure out what we did.
So these two are mine for sure. And then
This was the broken one, yes. So these ones were mine because I had the broken four-leaf clover, and then I had these ones.
Yeah. Mine were the
One of each shape.
Mine were the clowns and the one with the star. Show it off.
so one of these is mine, and I'm trying to figure out which one. I think that it's, I don't know.
Mushroom is yours.
Mushroom is actually Leona's. It
Oh,
will
it's-
wait for Leona.
Leona's.
Yes, it will wait for Leona here. So I don't know. This is Abby's, I believe. So everything with sparkles is Abby's. I think this one of this, but which one? This is okay. This looks like mine. This looks like mine. And then I had another like oval.
Oh, I think this might have been your oval.
It's mine.
This
It
one,
is
the
mine.
small thin one.
That's mine.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
trying to figure out
Yeah, I
which one is
grabbed the
mine.
wrong one.
Okay, so here, and we have the magic reveal. So I would ask Uli to maybe bring the camera closer, and then I want everyone to have a little bit of wax paper. So let us grab whatever is here. It happens. I'm not doing it because we have a necessity right now at the moment, but it's a good habit to have wax paper when you uncover resin, because if it did not cure in the bottom, you just put it to dry on wax paper and then leave it open for some time. So who wants to go first? Megan?
I'm gonna come around. So,
I kind of just peeled this away a little bit on each edge just to make sure that it was easy to release it. And then when I do this, it pops right off, just like that. There we go. So pretty. There we are.
it's beautiful.
And then just the one that was with the plain resin, because we had colored the resin with the green dye, and we played around with the colors a little bit, and that was quite fun. I'm glad that we did that. And here's one of the clear ones. It is quite bubbly, but I like bubbles. They kind of just are whimsical for me. I enjoy them. It's not everybody's cup of tea. And then yeah, just pulling them back. These happen to have little the little pieces in there so that there's a hole for putting like turning them into pendants. So I always sort of try to peel that part first so that I don't tear it off, because I have had that happen before. There's this one. It all just depends on the mold, like how well it was made. But there's another one. These ones are really good molds. There we go. And good resin too, that makes a difference as well. There's the last one, the rectangular one.
And also some patients, we were waiting for a week.
Yeah.
We did not go the next day and
There we
ruin
go.
it.
Wow. They look so good.
Nature, your turn.
Yes.
Turn over here.
Definitely gonna have to file them down. There we go. Yeah, I definitely have to file down the edges, but I like how it turned out.
Looks really nice.
Go ahead. I love this one. I call this piece unlucky.
I love this one. Actually, this looks so.
That looks like a butterfly.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going
It's
for.
amazing.
Kind of like, you know, interesting looking creature. Taking this one out is.
Well, I mean, there's been research and studies that show that plants can hear themselves
Lots of
being
bubbles in the
eaten,
back.
and they have feelings and thoughts, and
Kind of cool.
so it kind of makes sense to turn a plant into a creature.
And my super glittery one with lots of the little hearts in it. There we go. Very cute. And all
Very
in the
nice.
back too.
Very nice. I'm gonna come around here. See.
So what I have here, there is the whole collection of rocks I'm going to resin, and some of them are clovers, and some of them are different rocks that I just did not manage to resin this week. So this all will be resined with what we are doing today. And here I have one. It's very cute.
There we go.
And it's a lot of bubbles. Then I have the one that I use the beads, the gold beads. I'm going to write something on it or paint something on it, so it's not a finished, completely finished result. And then I have this guy, which is not a finished result at all. It's a base for making something, which I might work on, or I could just drop it in the garden here and someone might work on it. And then, right? And then this guy.
It's a nice green square. I like how the green looks.
It's very interesting. Okay, so all the bases, let's put the bases in. I'm thinking I don't have anything right here, so I just want to make a spot for them somewhere. Let's just put them in the side. Okay, and I will be also showing. I got several things to show. The resin can be different. So this resin, it's actually resin and then jewelry resin, and I used glow in the dark pigment in it. So this one is basically glow in the dark, and this is how it looks like. I don't know if you can see it. And this is the cut out of what I made because I used it on the outside, so it's a little bit different from. It was my try, so I just cut it. I did not even file it completely.
Are we able to turn off the lights for a second to see if that glows?
I don't know if
It
it's
usually
dark enough.
works in.
I'm not sure. Like, I want to see if we could try, because I feel like that would be fun on the camera.
And there are different colors,
Yeah.
because one color can be blue, one like can be green, so you can try. Then this guy is painted over, and I used acrylic to put in to see what happens. So in the back, the example is of what happens when you put acrylic. It does not look as good. So usually there are special resin dyes that work.
It's really interesting though.
Let's see the glow in the dark ones again.
Let's see if that works.
So glow in the dark usually looks like this.
Oh, it does glow.
It does glow.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
It glows.
I know some of them were blue and some of them were green, so.
Yeah, I was expecting like that usual classic
Yeah.
green glow in the dark.
I think
And
we
it's
can
blue.
see that on the replay.
It's
That'll be
beautiful.
fun to watch.
So this is resin put in between wires, so you can just look at it closer. So I made something like a wing.
It's gorgeous. I'm gonna do that.
So much you can do with that.
So this is, there are just some ideas of you can make it, like
butterflies.
if you paint on top of resin, you might want to resin it again, or you might just seal it with varnish. So that's, and this is the, I do not like when acrylic paint goes in resin, it does not do well. So I try to not do that myself, but you can play and
I've
find
done it
out.
successfully a few times, but it's like
It's
you have
separates.
to. Well, I've not actually had it separate.
No?
It depends on the type of resin that you use and what you want it to look like. I've had some really good successes and I've had some not so good successes. They're still successes.
So all this is going in our garden, Studio Central garden, right after we're done here.
It's like blue.
It's
and
awesome, right?
Yeah. Where did you find that?
Amazon.
You gotta show
It's
me. You're so
Amazon.
I need
Amazon
your
has
sources.
everything.
Okay, so one more thing about superfine glitter from Dollarama that you can edit as well, and
Yeah.
it works really well. But there are special glitters for resin, so this is the closest I could get so far. And what we're doing today, we'll leave this for Abby when she's here, so she can open her beautiful colors.
Yeah.
So I will just put them out of the tray. So I wanted to. Okay. I wanted to put paper on the tray so Mater can re-resin. You can
Do
put
you
that paper
want to
there.
use this for?
I will use this for the painting.
Okay.
This paper.
Yeah. So this paper, just put the paper on the tray. So this is your painting goes on, and then we will be able to re-resin it.
Yes.
Okay, what we're doing here, so I'm putting all my pieces away, and rocks we would resin them right after, but I have a little surprise. So I had a show, and the show, can you please put all this in bags?
Absolutely.
Thank you. I had a show lately, and it was quite interesting. It was a last minute decision because someone got canceled their show, and I just picked it up literally a couple of weeks before. I did not have much time for preparation, but I had a painting in the back of Studio Central, which is our archives in the back. We have them there. So we can go check on the gallery in the front, but we also have a couple of things that we put in storage there. So this painting was there, and it's donated. It was donated to Artbeat. But also I put it on that show, and it was a decorative sand mixture with, let's say, Mod Podge Jess or whatever was underneath. But everyone was welcome to come and paint, so you can look closer at it.
Yeah, it's such an interesting texture, and it was a great base for painting on. Because I feel like sometimes when you have collaborative pieces, like you don't. Like people are a little scared to fill in all the gaps, but
I'm in love with the name of this place too. Like
Happiness
I saw this-
Habitat.
Yes.
So it was, I called it the playground, then someone decided it was called Happiness Habitat, but it was the title from 2017 when it was painted the first time. So we were refreshing the painting and added, like literally repainted it again. So first time these were artists from Studio Central who were painting it. And second time, as long as this painting, I don't know, it just did not sell.
I want to buy
And-
that. I'll buy that. How much is it?
It's a donation to Artbeat Studio. As long as I put resin, the price would be a bit different from what it was, but it would be quite a heavy painting because sand adds to weight quite a bit, plus resin. So if you want something heavy, if it falls, it has chance of breaking too.
Yeah.
So it's just the one that you need to treat with care. Okay, my favorite part is actually this little cat with a butterfly on top. And you don't see it right away, but if you actually start looking, you find elements that are there. And we might give it a new title because it was repainted, so it's not painting that had been there before. But also I put it on the show, and anyone who was visiting the show was welcome to add their own detail, and then artists from Studio Central added their own. Also, we have this little scratch art piece from Maytar. So to preserve scratch art, we could use resin pour as well. So that's what we're going to do as well. So we will just take this paper off when we use the torch, and then we could resin this. All right? So just going to use the paper here. Okay, so we got the gloves. Everyone gets 2 gloves. 1, 2. Thank you. 1, 2.
And pretty
1, 2. So these are powder-free latex gloves, because there are other kinds that are not latex, and it also says powder-free, so just latex is good for me. I never tried another kind, but it just was told that latex is the right one.
But if you're allergic to latex, don't use that. Use a different one. They've got these like really good like blue ones that are like medical things. They're awesome. That's what I usually use.
Yeah, the thing with, I am not really familiar with what can cause allergies. So in my case, if my skin does not react well, this is really bad for everyone probably.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. And as long as Abby's not here, I hope Abby's watching though. Do you have comments? Abby?
No comments.
We hope to see you next week.
Okay. This resin is the one that, okay, about getting lucky. We might not consider all the factors when working with resin because it can be complicated. First of all, it can be very complicated from the point of view of temperature. You're not reaching up in your house and it's changing constantly. So some people actually know how to know, but humidity, like so many factors there. Plus, if you have animals and you start covering it, if you cover it with something like see-through plastic, it cures quicker, not as quickly as when it's not covered at all. Preference would be a studio space when there are no animals, no fur or anything like that. But you also, if you can leave it uncovered, that's the best thing. But if you have a chance of something falling in it or a hair going in it, I tried covering with foil and it never cures. So I had several attempts, no. Even if I take it out like the next day, it's not doing well. So this resin did not cure in my place. Sometimes it does, sometimes it does not. It had a better chance of curing at Studio Central where it's the nice spot where
there's no ace.
no ace and it's not covered
The
and
humidity
it's,
level is good.
and the sun and the window is closer and it's way better. Plus, we have a chance of just leaving it there and no one touches it. It does not happen in my place. So usually I use paper towels to open resin. So this is the tabletop epoxy. And this one, I do not really like this cap. The other resin has a different cap and it's completely, I don't know, it just does not give me problems like with this one. So these caps, they might be better, but they might be harder to, and it broke on the way to my place as well. So this one is harder to open. Yeah. And it might take some time for me. I always open it, but sometimes it just. Oh my God.
Yeah, usually it's me that can't open stuff during lives, but this one is clearly a bigger challenge.
It is a challenge. Oh, there. I always open it, but it might take some trying. Okay, so it's good, it's good, it's good. So what we need here, we need to empty the space for making resin. So let's, no, it comes with it first. There you go. Okay, so let's take everything away from here. And then, all right, so we would need this. So I don't want to just go around you, so let's just.
Do you want me to
Yes,
trace
stand
spots
up.
with you?
Yes.
This way. Oh my gosh, I need this pic. This is amazing. These colors set my soul on fire, and that's the only way I can describe that.
I think everyone did so well with it.
I
like
seriously
Studio Central artists and show visitors.
Tell me the price, and if I don't have it right now, I will make installments. I don't care. I'll
Yeah.
figure it out.
Yeah, get a change jar, savings.
I will do this. I will make this
Yeah.
happen.
You gotta find a place to hang it as well.
I will make a place to hang that. This will fit perfectly in several spaces in my home.
I wish that was my situation where I could hang more paintings up.
Well, I kind of have an artbeat, upbeat museum. That's kind of what my home is. So
That's
that'll
what I
be.
want when I grow up. I just want a museum in my house.
If I win the lottery, we're talking about St. Patrick's.
Yeah. Well, my house is
I
a
bought the
rainbow.
lottery ticket. I'm so hoping.
Yeah, we have so many four-leaf clovers here. Something's gotta happen.
Right?
I
You
can
need
make
to
a
make-
lot of space. Maybe I buy a bigger house that can fit more paintings.
Well, you can make like a four-leaf clover mosaic wall,
Yeah,
like
More
tiles,
wall space.
All right.
clover
Yeah.
tiles.
just the luckiest wall ever.
Exactly.
So what happened here?
You can
I'm
charge people to
just
come visit it.
picking out stuff that I do not want to be there. But we need to consider it shouldn't go anywhere further than this line. And then there is something that fell there from the cap. So we're just going to mix it. And as long as you have gloves, I will give you this mixture. Let's say this resin, they recommend 5 minutes of mixing. So anyone has
If you watched
a
us
lucky
last-
watch?
Yeah, if you watched us last time, we traded off and passed it around, each of us doing about a minute or so each.
It's way easier because
Mhm.
hands get tired.
We can definitely do that
It's
again.
quite thick.
I got a 5-minute timer on.
There we go.
So there are two options of what we can do. We can do the pour, which I'm planning, but also if you want a thinner resin, you can spread it with gloves. But that depends on the surface. Some surfaces do not settle resin the same way as others. So in this case, the pour is a perfect variant.
Do you ever create a boundary on the piece so that the resin can be like for something like this where it's an uneven surface with different layers and levels? Would you create a
going
boundary?
to
Oh,
use
you are
the
using
stick.
these. That's smart. Okay.
Yeah, and then if it droops, the paper goes to garbage and I can cut the edges off, but I hope that we do it so accurately that I don't have to do that, but it's almost impossible, but again,
Yeah.
lucky, we'll try.
Or like painter's tape.
We could try green tape.
Yeah. Do you want me to see if I can find some?
Yeah, sure.
Wait, do we have any here or at studio?
It should be in the,
Yeah, we have a comment that from Melvenius Haverton that says, waves and says hi. Melvenius, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing
I
that.
cannot, that's Corey, cannot hear.
Ah, there we go. Someone we know. Like,
Okay, Amator, your turn. Your turn to mix.
oh gosh.
Okay, here you go. We can try. My hands are already in resin.
Oh, I need to get the other side of it to be able to hear. If you can grab over here, and then I will get this. There.
It's a little easier if you have someone to work with.
If you can
It's fine.
just run your finger along there. For a piece this big, yes. Having a couple people helping you out is definitely a good thing.
This looks like a good idea.
We'll try. So you're trying new
Not sure if
things
it'll
and
work.
getting lucky out connected, right?
Right? We got the green tape. We're getting lucky. There we go.
Okay. Okay, Ollie's turn.
Oh, I need to put my gloves on.
Oh yeah. Or do you want to
Do
mix,
you wanna?
Megan?
I want it. Thank
You're
you.
the lucky.
Yeah. I'm like, I'll focus on the camera so I don't get the camera all resiny. Box the camera in resin. Resining the camera.
Let's not pour the resin over the camera.
Yeah, what do you think the effect would be? Do you think it's like, you know, a different lens?
And unless somebody wants to donate a camera and donate resin that could be used for this purpose, we will become one of those channels.
Lottery?
We'll create a TikTok just for doing stuff. But somebody
Whoa.
needs to fund it.
What will we resin next?
Artistic mayhem. There we go. That's what we'll call it.
Well, Major, if you want to use mine for your earring, you can.
Use what?
Use my clovers.
I don't know if it will fit the little hole.
Oh, you can try. Come
I'd probably have to use a smaller earring, like a smaller earring bit.
Connector?
Yeah.
You can
Like a
try
jump
these
ring?
two.
I don't think.
Either one.
No, they're all like the same size.
Yeah.
Jump rings or earring. Oh yeah.
I need to find one that's like smaller.
The other thing you could do is get a regular stud earring backing, and then where the hole is, you can put a little bead over it and make it really pretty.
Oh yeah.
I've done that a few times.
Alrighty, let's start.
Yeah.
Let's start.
Oh, the timer's up.
All right, we've been mixing for 5 minutes.
Woo, good. Okay, so do you want to keep this stick for spreading? Then make sure you can have this stick for spreading.
Okay. Hold on.
Just wear your gloves.
Yeah, I know. I'm putting them on.
And I'll start.
Oh my gosh, the resin.
Oh my god, that is a lot of resin.
Gorgeous. It is a lot of resin. That is a,
Okay, so just getting it out.
wow.
So we're just having sticks to put resin in all the places we need to put it in. If it's not enough, we could mix more, or we could just leave it and go for another layer after, which might happen.
I feel like saying all the like hills and valleys is applicable to this particular piece because I don't know if you can really see the texture of it on the video, but oh my goodness, it is amazing. It's glorious.
Yeah, it's almost certainly more obvious in real life.
again, this is the technique that is not for everyone, and the piece gets breakable.
Yeah.
So let's be careful with the piece, and it gets really heavy when it's done. I also can spread it with a glove.
Actually, that might be easier.
It's easier where you see those
Yeah.
heels,
Are there baby
especially
wipes?
behind the counter.
I can grab stuff too because I have clean hands.
It might be down by where the garbage is, I think, or they used to be. Or possibly.
Oops. What was that? Something that I did. Piece of glove. Oh, the piece of glove ripped.
Uh-oh.
Awfully.
Hopefully it doesn't get
We got another comment from Corey that says, "Miss you guys."
Oh,
you
where
too.
are you?
He is currently in Texas. If you can
Oh.
believe that.
Okay.
And then in a couple weeks or I guess a week and a half, he'll be in Maine again. And then hopefully here again soon-ish, maybe, I don't know.
Oops. So some paint someone used was not acrylic because acrylic would not stay since yesterday. And
Yeah. Could it be the reaction between the sand and the acrylic? No?
no. It was just not acrylic, I guess.
This is so much
I
fun.
don't say it's something wrong. It could be some paints can
Yeah.
be weird, but it doesn't mean they're bad paints or anything.
It's just different.
Different from acrylic. Okay, and then if we want to add something on top, we could always go for another layer. So add more things. They settle easier if they're flat, especially we could just add a drawing and then we could just do something else with it. So whichever is left on your glove, if your glove is good, you can resin your piece, you can add more, or you can make another mixture. Because my glove has blue on it, I don't want to resin painting with a
That
blue
is perfect.
resin. And also you can try,
And there's all those rocks, I
you
think.
can just grab excess resin from this area because we got a lot and just put resin. Okay, and then I'll start
Alright.
with a torch.
That's not bad.
Okay, so I got all this wax paper right here. And, oh, here, I got some leftovers in the bin. Oh, bin. Sour cream container.
Those containers are amazing. Keep them. If you are an artist, keep those.
Do your gloves have a lot of resin on them?
Not a ton, but a little bit.
Some
There is some dripping
Can you
here.
take like whichever is dripping and resin rocks?
I can do that.
Just wipe
That
it
is a
around.
plan.
And there is some left over in here, so that
Alright.
is for.
Cool.
That's not much that we need, we just want a basic layer. Okay, so the torch. And we got some tubes here, so we are good. Okay. So I just take, oh my god, oh, the dragon, real dragon. My mom
Little
calls it a
dragon.
dragon, and she always looks at it, smiles, and say, oh, the dragon's here. Like she got used to it already, I think. Ace never got used to it. He runs away when I spray something or I work with anything like spray sealers. No, he would see me taking a bottle of spray sealer and he'd run away. Because sometimes in winter, I like send him away to actually spray seal some stuff because it's really cold.
Where are these rocks painted? They are gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
Rock. I feel like I think these are going into the rock garden. I don't know for sure. Are they?
When they cure, yes.
There are some glorious stones. Colorful ones, lucky ones, reminders to be brave.
I'll bring the wet wipes here, just in case.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
I'm stepping away. I got a tear in mine too.
Me too.
Yeah.
Need to be very careful when it's.
It's okay. Well, what like just to get it on your hands.
That is so sweet. So this was like pink. I don't know if you can still see the pink down here, but it looks orange when the resin is on. Oh no, there's pink and orange. Never mind. Never mind. Pink and orange. It's both. It's awesome.
So we need to inspect. If we see bubbles, we would just go over another time, but we just need to look from all the angles and see if there is anything that, like bubbles that I need
It's
to
hard
remove.
to tell if it's bubbles or just the texture.
It's easier sometimes when it's flat, but when there are sand pieces, they can kind of pop out a little bit out of the
Kind
resin.
of hard to tell.
Yeah, but this painting looks fun, definitely. And you have this little square with just.
I'm serious. Tell me the price of this. I will buy it. I don't care.
I can
will
go
see.
check on what it says in the database.
I love the little worm here. That little bow tie.
Yeah.
My favorite is this
said a
cat with a
cat.
butterfly or flower.
I like this air. I love the sun. It's probably my
Right?
favorite.
I like the general look of this area. It looks.
Yeah, I worked
fantastic.
out that part.
Yeah.
I will do whatever it takes to have this in my home. It belongs in my house is a rainbow.
So all these rocks, we would put them together with this painting on top of the stand, and that's where it's going to. Major, can you move this painting to the center with all the paper, and then rocks will go around it.
Ah, that's a good.
Okay, do we need to actually go over, do you see bubbles in yours?
I mean, I see some places where it's not like covered completely, but I wouldn't say
We have some visitors looking at some of the pieces in the window. They are adorable. These kids are looking at some of the amazing pieces in the displays.
really excited about the art we had on display.
I should not be putting my hand over there.
There's Ollie, who's terrified, and then there's Megan, who's like, yeah, let's put my hand there.
Okay,
Yeah,
there.
like,
We're doing
right.
Let
this
me
thing.
stay
Mister,
across the
If
room.
you don't want to resonate, that's okay.
Okay. I don't know if we
We
have
could
extra
put it in the
resin.
garden though,
Sure.
if you want to. We could just leave it in the garden for
Why
some.
not?
It's like you said to put these here, so I was still focused on that, and
You're
then
like, oh,
you're
no.
doing this, and I'm like, wait a second, that's a little warm. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't do that. But I'm cold.
Okay, we're doing all right here. We're alive.
Yes.
Okay, so let's just. I think we could make like a camera roll over the painting,
Yeah.
and then we would see when it cures. We would see how it looks like. I hope it cures. Again, luck. We need
Yeah.
all the luck there.
Me too.
And I really like all these
It's the
earrings.
luckiest
Oh,
day.
yeah.
Let's
We've
look
got
for
this.
Oh, look over it. It's nice and smooth. Well, I mean, it's nice and bubble free. It's not quite smooth because it's very
It's not
textured.
intended to be.
No, you can't really see the texture too much, but a little bit when you see the light over it.
You can definitely see like the reflection.
Mhm.
Like the texture.
It looks fun.
Yeah, I love it, to be honest.
Oh, this is a dream. This piece is a dream.
So what we're going to do, we're going to take this board, we're going to put sandpaper, wax paper on this whole board and transfer it. So maybe you can still
a good
wear
plan.
gloves for that
Okay.
reason.
Okay.
So we just transfer it on the board, and then we will leave it here, and then we transfer it to Studio Central on Monday.
Mhm.
That's my thinking.
Yeah.
No one is here till Monday, so we
Yeah.
can actually keep it here, and no one's here, and no one's bumping
It'll
into
start
it.
curing. It'll
And then
it'll
we
rest. We will let the piece rest.
And we see how it goes when it's just here. And then we could move it to Studio Central. Probably. All right. And then I just need a wet wipe. I don't know where, but I went.
It makes me think of like, I don't know, the ocean or something.
It's interesting, right? And I
just-
don't know what I'm doing with this piece. I'm going to file it, re-resin, and add more because it was intentionally done to work further, to not leave it the way it is now. All right, and I will say thank you for watching and good luck.
Bye.
Good luck.
Happy Friday.
See you next Friday.
Patrick's.